Hey everyone, so Bitcoin's back around 71,000. And I don't think this move is about Bitcoins itself. Let me explain what I'm seeing here. Because this isn't just a normal pullback where price runs up and cools off. This feels ties to something's happening outside the market. And if you're not paying attention to that part, the move doesn't make sense. A lot of people saw Bitcoin push into the low 72s and assumed strength was built. But if you slow that down for a second, that push didn't come from steady demand stepping in. It came fast, too fast. That usually means it was reacting to something, not building from underneath. And what was it reacting to? Those headlines about easing tensions between the US and Iran. The moments that narrative hits, markets across the board took it as a green light. Oil expectations calmed down. Worst case scenarios got pushed aside and risk started to come back in. Bitcoin followed that moves almost immediately. But here's the part that doesn't sit right. That whole situation hasn't actually settled. You've already hearing pushback, new conditions being thrown out, and no clear confirmations that things are stable. And more importantly, the flows through the Strait of Hormuz, the things everything was hinging on, is still sitting in a gray area. So what happened? The markets moved ahead of reality. It priced it in relief before relief actually showed up. And now it's slowly correcting that. That drop back to 71. That's not panic selling. That's the market second guessing what it's assumed just a days or two ago. And if you zoom out for just a little, you can see the pattern forming. Tension rises, Bitcoin's pulled back. Relief showed up, Bitcoin's jumps. Relief starts to look shaky, price stalls or slip. That's the rhythm right now. It's not random and it's not purely technical either. It's reacting to information as it comes in. Now around the 70,000 levels, there are clearly a lots of activities. You've got traders looking higher, calling for 75, even 80,000. But all of that depends on something holding together that hasn't proven it can yet. Because if the situation tightens again, that support doesn't have much room before it gets tested. And if that happens, you're probably looking back into that upper 60 range pretty quickly. So the real question isn't where is Bitcoin's going next. It's did the markets move too fast based on something that isn't fully real yet? Because that's what it looks like right now. And this is where most people get caught off guard. They see the move up, they get confident, then the story shifts, and suddenly they're reacting instead of thinking. But if you step back for a second, nothing fundamental about Bitcoin's changed here. This isn't about the network adoptions or long-term demand suddenly disappear. This is short-term reactions layered on top of the bigger structures that's still intact. And that's an important distinction because moments like this tends to shake people out. Not because something's broke, but because the narratives changed it faster than they expected. Meanwhile, the people who've been around a while, they're not chasing every headlines. They're watching how the market responds to those headlines. There's a difference. Right now, what we're seeing is market trying to figure out if it's got ahead of itself. Price isn't collapsing, but it's not confidently pushing either. It's waiting. And the next move probably won't come from a chart pattern. It's going to come from whatever headlines hits next and whether the markets believe it this time. So if you're watching this, don't just focus on the numbers on the screen. Pay attention to what's driving the reactions behind it because that's where the real signal is right now. And until that cleared up, this kind of back and forth, these hesitations, that's probably going to stick around a little longer.